This is Brian with ScreenFiles.com and Trail Interaction. What I'm looking at today is the official teaser trailer for a movie titled Pinocchio Unleashed, which I'm assuming is a horror film. And you might be aware of when I see Winnie the Pooh, Betty Boop, characters that have recently come into the public domain, I tend to be very cynical. And that's because if you create something that looks nothing like the characters that you remember, for me that feels pointless. If you're going to create a movie based upon Winnie the Pooh, to me it seems to go without saying that your lead should look like Winnie the Pooh. He shouldn't look like a monstrous werebear thing. Though that specificity isn't required for a movie like Pinocchio. Why is that, you might ask? Well, because you're probably aware it's a story about a man who I believe lost a child, Geppetto, and he carves a puppet as a memorial of sorts to his son, and the puppet manages to come alive and so on. That's an idea that has a certain timelessness to it. When I think of Pinocchio, I don't think of a particular character in terms of their visual presentation, more so than just a cautionary tale about what lying can do more than anything else. It's the themes and the ideas behind Pinocchio that resonate more so than the character itself. So I would imagine it would be easiest to create this character in a modern context. There's a timeliness about it I think really works. That being said, supposedly the effects on this movie, Pinocchio Unleashed, are practical, which I tend to interpret it as you're using actual models, puppets, and other ways to generate a certain look for your film that's not overly reliant on computer-generated images. That's how I take one. In any case, let's look at the official teaser trailer for Pinocchio Unleashed. Skinny jeans, ick.
Danza sotto il sole, Cristo che fa avanti nel bagliore, cicatrici nel cuore della città, tarantella nelle vene che va.
Well, that was the official teaser trailer for Pinocchio Unleashed, and let's just say there's very little practical Pinocchio in that trailer. I mean, there's a scene where you see the puppet's head turning, which his neck is essentially a dowel, so that's very easy to do. But beyond that, you don't see a lot of puppet. You see a lot of carnage of various types, but very little puppet. And that's an interesting approach, but not at all what I expected. Going in, seeing the poster for this movie reminded me very much of Anthony Hopkins in Magic, I want to say from 1976. And that's a movie that I saw way too young, and so it's made quite an impression upon me. And to this day, I can recite the tagline for that movie. It's carved a permanent spot in my brain, and it's stuck, which is the weirdest shit because It's probably the most useless of useless information, yet it's home. Like most of us, I tend to forget stuff eventually, but for whatever reason, I can't forget that. But what do you think? Not about my forgetfulness about the trailer. This is Brian with ScreenFiles.com and Trailer to Reaction. Do you agree, disagree? Let me know down below. And as usual, consider a like, follow, or buy me a coffee. Peace.